What would you do if someone said they'd make you disappear if you testified? So my uncle owns this trucking company that's been in our family for like 30 years. Real small town operation, you know? Ray's Reliable Hauling, the kind of place where everyone knows your name. I'd been working there part-time since high school, mostly doing paperwork and inventory stuff in that cramped back office. Nothing fancy, just helping family. Last spring, I was staying late to catch up on some invoices when I heard trucks pulling in around 10 p.m. That was weird because we never ran night routes. I looked out the back office window and saw my uncle directing drivers to dump these huge barrels into the storm drain that leads straight to our town's reservoir. The smell hit me even through the closed window, like chemicals mixed with rotten eggs and something metallic that made my eyes water. I grabbed my phone and started recording, my hands shaking. 23 barrels. I counted every single one, watching the thick, dark liquid pour out. My uncle was wearing a full respirator mask and heavy gloves, for God's sake. The drivers had bandanas over their faces. These definitely weren't just empty containers. I filmed for 12 minutes straight, getting license plates, faces, everything. 3 weeks later, kids at the elementary school started getting sick. Weird rashes that wouldn't heal. Breathing problems. Nosebleeds. My neighbor's 6-year-old daughter ended up in the hospital with respiratory issues. That's when the EPA showed up, taking water samples, asking questions around town. Somehow my name came up as someone who worked there, probably from the payroll records. When Agent Martinez called asking me to testify about what I might have seen, I knew I had to tell them. These were kids getting hurt. That's when the family meetings started. My aunt would casually mention at Sunday dinner how some secrets need to stay in the family. My cousin Jake started dropping by my apartment unannounced, always with some excuse, but really talking about how blood is thicker than water, but sometimes blood disappears too. Then my uncle pulled me aside after church one Sunday. He put his hand on my shoulder, real gentle-like, and said, "You know what happened to your cousin Tommy 15 years ago? Poor kid just vanished one day. These things happen when people don't understand family loyalty. Here's the thing though, Tommy was my best friend growing up. His disappearance never made sense to me. So for the past 3 years, I'd been quietly investigating it myself, going through old police reports, talking to people who knew him, following paper trails, and I'd found something that made my blood run cold. Bank records showing my uncle had been paying Tommy $2,000 monthly payments right before he disappeared, labeled as consulting fees. Employment records at a chemical disposal company 2 counties over where Tommy had worked briefly. Phone records showing 17 calls between Tommy and environmental protection agents in the week before he vanished. The last call was logged at 11:47 p.m. on March 15th, 2009. Tommy was reported missing the next morning. So when my uncle made his little threat, I looked him straight in the eye, smiled, and said, "Uncle Ray, you might want to check your email tonight." I'd sent everything. The videos of the dumping, Tommy's investigation files, financial records connecting the company to illegal disposal sites, even recordings of the family's threats, to the FBI, the EPA, and 3 different news outlets, all scheduled to go out automatically if I didn't check in every 48 hours. Turns out Tommy had discovered the same thing I did, but unlike me, he'd tried to handle it quietly, within the family. That was his mistake. The EPA raid happened the next morning at 6 a.m. Uncle Ray and 4 family members got arrested, all looking stunned. The town got clean water filters and a massive settlement, and Tommy's case got reopened as a homicide investigation. They found his remains buried under the old equipment shed.